Guys, I'm Jeff with eBay Addicts, and today I got a returning guest back with me today. I got Baldypal Picking is here. How are you doing, Baldypal?
I'm great, Jeff. Thanks for asking me on the show, buddy. I appreciate that.
Hey, man, thanks for coming on and hanging out with us. So real quick, in case people don't know who you are, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick. Kind of tell everybody who you are and where you're from, and tell them a little bit about what it is that you do.
Absolutely, man. My name's Adam. Go by Baldy Pal on the internet, and my YouTube channel is Baldypal Picking. I'm a part-time picker and eBay reseller. I have a regular 8 to 5 full-time job where I work in IT and I hand out hardware, but I do this part-time as supplemental cash for the fun stuff in life, right? Or to pay the extra bills or the unexpected costs that may come up every now and again. And that's actually what my YouTube channel is about, is trying to show people that even if you only do this on the side, you can be successful even with a little bit of time invested, but work invested, and you can still, have extra vacation or buy that extra steak while you're out at the restaurant, or maybe even make an extra car payment or two on your car if you plan it right.
Yeah, so I got a quick question for you, Adam. Was it true that you paid for you and your family to go to Disney World with money you made on eBay? Was that a true statement? Because that's what. Tell us a little bit about that.
I was able to pay a portion of it, but not the entire trip. But yes,
Okay.
we basically supplemented the cost. It was actually my daughter's cheer competition, and we were going no matter what because her cheer team made it to that level, and it was
Right.
nationals, and so we were going to go no matter what. So I was able to pay at least about 50% of it from my eBay earnings for the year, just because it's you can, it's one thing to plan a Disney vacation. It's another thing that it happens to you unexpectedly, which I know that doesn't happen to a lot of people. But when they announced that they made it to nationals that year, we were just scrambling, right? So I was able to soften the burden with the money I had made from eBay. But yeah, it's 50% true.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to say hey real quick to Katie Reeds is in the chat. Says,
Hey,
hey guys.
Katie.
Hey Katie Reeds. I hope you're doing well tonight. If you have questions for our guests, go ahead and drop it in the chat. So that's awesome. You were able to take some of your side hustle, your side income from eBay, and kind of
Yeah.
put that towards help paying for your family's trips and vacations and stuff. So
Yeah.
hey man, also you've been traveling a lot. You got to go to that reseller meetup. They had one up in Cincinnati. I think you got to go to that one, and
Yep.
then you were at the recent one with Dante had at Prison to Profit. How did that go? Tell us a little bit about how your reselling meetup adventures went.
Both those trips were absolutely a blast. I mean, absolutely a blast. The one in Cincinnati, I drove the whole way and thrifted the whole way. And I say I drug my wife along with me, but really she voluntarily got in the truck. But
Oh, okay.
I think she had a good time too. We thrifted all the way up there. We thrifted all the way back, and meeting everybody in Cincinnati was an absolute blast. Then the Dante's over in Greenville, South Carolina. I made a week-long trip of that as well, and met up with different people who are in South Carolina, other thrifters like Flippy McFlipperson and Casey, the Carolina thrifter, and Wyatt, and a lot of different people. Just had an absolute blast. Now, these trips, I mean, those came out of my eBay as well. Like, so when I talk about being able to do extra stuff, have extra fun out of eBay, like the money I made from eBay paid for all of that. And I know there's a lot of videos where people say that, I'm going on a vacation to such and such a place. Let's go thrifting and see if we can pay for the hotel fee or something like that. You absolutely can. Like the first thrifting stop I made in South Carolina, I found a bag full of vintage wrestling figures that paid for the first hotel night on my trip. So you absolutely can do it. You absolutely can do it. It's not be out of your reach. It's not out of anybody's reach. You just have to put the effort and the work, and you get out of it what you put into it. I've always said that about reselling on eBay. You get out of it what you put into it. And I really believe in that.
Yeah, well, that's the good thing about it is I read an article recently. It said like 70% of the country is living paycheck to paycheck. And if you know from working your 9 to 5 job, if you know that you already have X amount of money budgeted to pay your bills every month, and you're like, where's this extra money going to come from for us to travel and in order to make trips and go places and do things that you want to do? And like you said, you were able to travel. Not only you got to go to Cincinnati, you got to go to South Carolina, then you got to go take your family to Disney World, which in part you didn't have to say, oh, I'm going to put it on a credit card and pay it later. You were just saying, hey, I have money coming in, this extra stream of income from hustling doing my side gig from reselling. And now I can take this extra capital and kind of use it and disperse it to help cover our trips and do things with your wife and your kids and your family. And like you said, your wife got to go with you on these reselling trips and adventures, and you got to shoot YouTube videos with Flippy McFlipperson and the Carolina Thrifter, and you got to meet up with your friends. So all that sounds like you had a blast.
Yeah, absolute blast. Absolute blast. I see Tracy over here says that she's about to watch this new Spider-Man movie. No spoilers, but you're going to seriously enjoy that movie.
Okay, awesome. Hey, Tracy, thanks for stopping by. I was just reading your article you had on Instagram. So, but yeah, I'm sure I heard the movie was like top 3 or whatever in the box office, like ever. So it's like, if you get a chance to check out the Spider-Man movie, you definitely should go check it out. So, Baldypal, I was thinking that, one thing that I talk about a lot is that if you have student loan debt, you have car payments or credit card bills, you have a mortgage, if you have this extra stream of income, like you were saying earlier, from reselling on eBay, now you have this extra stream of income that you can use to kind of get out of debt. And I know when I talked with you previously, that's one of the things that you kind of use as your side gig, your side hustle. I watch your YouTube videos where you pop in here on your lunch break at work, see if you can find anything to flip on eBay, and then take some of that extra capital to kind of use to pay down some debt as well. Do you mind talking about that?
Sure. One of the biggest pieces of debt that I had here recently was I had a car payment. I mean, who doesn't have a ar payment these days, right? I mean, many, like the majority of Americans have a car payment. I was able to pay my truck off a year early because I put forth extra payments from my eBay income. And so that was a huge burden off my chest by paying that car off early. And when you do that, you actually save yourself money because you don't have to pay that 1 year of interest, right, on that car loan. So you save yourself more than just the payment. You save yourself all of that interest, which is absolutely great. And that's after that, I put forth the same amount of money towards down payment because it's time for my wife to get an upgrade on her car. So, yeah, so I created more debt once I did it, but honestly, it's a cycle, right? We don't have more than one car payment at a time. That's the way we've always lived because that is debt. But I mean, honestly, when I have to pop into Goodwill for 30 minutes and work hard and do that, I enjoy it so much. It's not extra work, if that makes sense. And then the benefits of it gratify the entire family. Everyone gets to see it, not just me.
Okay, awesome. Hey, let me give a quick shout out here. Some people in the chat, we're live. Want to give a shout out to my buddy Mo is here from the Reseller Niche. Katie Reed is here in the chat. Tracy is here. We have Laura. Laura is here in the chat. And I don't know if I can pronounce your name correctly or not. I'm going to try. Pie Feather Embolden says, what is your favorite sandwich, your favorite disgusting sandwich? And the Reselling Sniper says, hey, everybody, I paid off my car through reselling, but I didn't pay it off early. I paid a lot in interest. Well, hey, happens. Man, that's nice that you were able to get it paid off. So let's catch some questions in the chat. I want to know, what is your favorite disgusting sandwich? And Katie Reed wants to know, what is your biggest flip?
Easiest one first is the flip question. And actually, it happened just this past year. My biggest flip was a large Halloween decoration, which was a 6-foot skeleton pony. I paid $25 for it in the Goodwill store, and I sold it for $600 plus shipping.
Wow.
And I'm working on my next biggest flip right now. It's currently listed. I found a really rare prototype pair of Kobe Bryant tennis shoes for $7.50. And I'll say shout out to ATL Flipper for helping me specifically identify these shoes. Being that they are a rare prototype, I currently have them listed for $1,000.
Yeah, man, I hear that a lot of those Kobe Bryant shoes, ever since he passed away, they're not making them anymore. And so it's like, if you have something that's vintage, they're not making them anymore, and it's limited edition, you can kind of, name your price, and people are going to be shooting you offers on it. So, hey, Baldypal, I wanted to talk a little bit real quick about how do you go about balancing everything, because you work your full-time gig, you have a wife, you have kids, you have a family, you spend time shooting YouTube videos, and then you still do your reselling gig. So how do you kind of balance everything and stay on top of everything. Like just today, you're telling me you're traveling for the holidays and you're spending time with your family, but then you still make time to shoot YouTube content and make sure you get all your eBay packages shipped out, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's definitely hard. Don't dare let me accidentally try to make it look easy. But I think part of the way of making it more easy is I do it all on my cell phone. So when I take pictures for eBay listings, it's on my cell phone. So if I'm away from my house, I can still list. When I shoot YouTube videos, it's on the GoPro and I download it to my cell phone from the GoPro and I can edit from my cell phone. So again, while I'm away from my house, I can edit while I'm away from the computer. And that helps tremendously. And so when I am visiting my family that's 3 hours away and there's, I'm being social. I don't want to be antisocial with my family, but I'm being social. But, there could be downtime after everybody else is done eating dinner and everybody else is left. And I'm just staying for the evening with my brother-in-law. Then, if we're sitting there just watching nothing good on TV, I'll do some listing on my cell phone, that type of thing. But family's first with me. Family first. It's God, family, work, eBay, then YouTube. And I'll be honest with you, if I want to grow in my eBay, then YouTube tends to take a bit of a back seat. And then if I want to pick up on the YouTube, the eBay tends to take a bit of a back seat. So that's how I balance it. I give a little bit and then I take a little bit. Then I give a little bit, then I take a little bit. So it's definitely a balancing game and it isn't easy. When my wife or my daughter or my son has something going on extracurricular wise, everything else takes a backseat at that point in time. Like my son just graduated to a next belt in karate. So I went to his test. I watched him perform. I went to the belt ceremony and nothing else got done that day because to me, that was more important than everything else.
Well, that's what I kind of feel like, reselling and YouTube should be about. YouTube should be around your schedule, and with the same way with reselling on eBay, it should be around your schedule. If I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I can't go back to sleep, I should be able to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and crank out some listings and, put on a podcast or listen to music in the background, crank out some listings for a couple of hours, then go back to sleep. It shouldn't be like a 9 to 5 job where, you have to do something at a certain time in a certain place. So, hey, I want to give a quick shout out to the chat here. I wanted to say hey to Where Pigs Fly Farm. And I wanted to say hey to Mo is here. Says that's huge. I started using my cell phone more the last few months. And the Selling Sniper says that he likes your shirt. So I'm going to go ahead and blow you up real quick so I can see your Super Mario shirt. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
Only $1.
Oh, you thrifted. You found it at the thrift store?
Yeah.
So, hey, Baldypal, tell us a little bit about what's been working for you in Q4, what's been working for you with your reselling business, and what hasn't been working? Like, what's been a big pain in the butt for you?
Oh, man. Okay. So what's been working for me is I know people don't appreciate or really, they think death pile is a negative connotation, but that's what's really been keeping me going through fourth quarter. If I am too busy and I can't take my lunch break and go picking, I've got something at home I can list that evening instead or that weekend instead. And that's helped me make it through fourth quarter because just like fourth quarter is busy for eBay, fourth quarter is busy for me at my regular 8 to 5 too. So I can't always take a lunch. And if I do, it's only I can't leave the office to do it. So death piles help me get through the fourth quarter tremendously. And then the thing that's been against me the most, I guess, is the fact that I feel like in November, YouTube took the biggest backseat for the longest time. And I wouldn't say I was in a rut or anything. It had to be deprioritized, right? With everything else that was going on, it had to be deprioritized. But now that I've picked it back up again in December, I've seen a huge difference. So because I wasn't able to do a lot in November, I was stagnant. But now that I've picked it back up in December, I've seen it grow more. And I'm so close to 1,000. In fact, I just hit 950 this past week. And because I hit 950, I got another $50 giveaway in the planning. It'll come up sometime soon. So y'all pay attention.
Yeah, guys, I'm subscribed to Baldypal's channel, and I think he's like maybe 30 or 35 subscribers away. So if you guys aren't subscribed and you want to help our buddy out, help Baldypal hit 1K subscribers, all the links are going to be down below in the description for YouTube and Instagram. And if you just hit that subscribe button and help him hit 1K subscribers, we both would appreciate it. Because it's a grind. It's a grind if you guys don't know when you feel like you're putting out content, and sometimes you put out content and your videos get 10, 15, 20 views, and you're thinking about, all the planning and work you did behind setting the video up, and sometimes your videos flop. And it's kind of like that with reselling. You're scanning this item and you're thinking for sure this item's going to sell next week, and it sits on the shelf for 6 months, and you don't understand it. You're thinking, man, this is a great item, it's brand new, it's going to sell, and it doesn't always sell in the time you think it's going to sell. The biggest pain point for me right now is the post office. I have like a love-hate relationship with the post office, because like with eBay, like it's me and Adam are doing the transaction. Let's say I come to Adam and I say, hey Adam, I'm selling you the CD Walkman for $20, and you're like, hey, that's a great deal, I'll buy it for $20. But the problem is we have the middleman, which is the post office, and they somehow drop the ball. And I've had 2 or 3 emails lately in the past month where a customer says, hey, I don't know what the deal is. My package was supposed to be delivered 2 weeks ago and it hasn't shown up yet. So I've had a couple of times where either I've had to reship out the package again twice, or I've had to give a customer a refund. And I understand, when I contact the post office, they said, well, it's severe weather or it's the holiday season, packages are being delayed, and just stuff comes up missing. And so that could be a major pain point, especially if you have money tied up in the item, the customer has paid for the item, you're thinking everything's going well, but then the post office, for whatever reason, drops the ball. So that's been my biggest issue I've had lately, is just either having to refund customers or having to go back and reship an item twice when I've already shipped it correctly the first time. And I even go there to the post office, make sure they scan all the boxes, and sometimes stuff just comes up missing. And that's just part of the business sometimes,
Have you ever had anything that they broke in transit for you?
Man, sometimes, but most of the time, usually 9 times out of 10, it's stuff that just comes up missing. I'll ship a package from where I'm located in Florida to Hawaii, and it gets all the way across the country, and it'll be in California, and then it just stops moving. And we don't know. We check out the tracking number. We're trying to find out what happened to the package, and no one knows, So that's probably the most frustrating thing that I have. Hey, I wanted to give a quick shout out here to Harry Tornado is here in the chat. What's up, Harry Tornado? The $5 super chat. Hey, man, long time no see. I appreciate you coming by to help hang out with us, and the $5 super sticker, man. Thanks for coming by and hanging out with us tonight. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to Jim's Closet Gems. So hey Adam, tell everybody about your fundraiser you're doing next week on Tuesday, because Harry Tornado is going to be one of the surprise guests that's supposed to be there, right? I was just thinking about that
anymore.
Today.
Not surprised anymore.
Sorry, it was. I'm sorry, it was. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So on Wednesday night, December 22nd, I'm going to host on my Wednesday night live show. I'm going to host a telethon that is going to support the Gary Sinise Foundation. And the Gary Sinise Foundation is built to support veterans and first responders to help build type of projects within the community, disability efforts, things that help them with their houses, if they're down on their luck for any reason. This foundation helps them out. And so I have always had a spot in my heart for our military and our veterans. And so I wanted this Christmas season, I wanted to support that foundation. It actually is a really, really good foundation. Go to the GarySiniseFoundation.org website to learn more. But that night, using GoFundMe, every penny that is donated to that GoFundMe will be going to the Gary Sinise Foundation. And again, that's Wednesday night, December 22nd at 8 p.m. on my channel. And we're going to have a slew of YouTube celebrities showing up that I've already reached out to. And you don't know who you're going to see. So y'all don't want to miss this. It's going to be fun. It's going to be embarrassing. It's going to be hilarious. You do not want to miss it.
I'm not going to ruin the rest of the lineup for you guys, but I will link it in the community section so you guys can stop by and hang out and visit. It's for a charity. It's a fundraiser for charity, and I may be stopping by, and you never know who else is going to stop by. I'm not going to tell you who else may or may not going to be there, but you don't want to miss it. It's definitely going to be a fun live stream. So we had a quick question here from the Selling Sniper. He says, hey, Baldypal, what app do you use to edit your YouTube videos? I use InShot.
I use CapCut. and I'm on Android. CapCut is a free app, and it has a lot of options built in. The reason why I landed on this app, even though there's several to choose from, the reason why I landed on this app was because, one, it was free. Two, there was no cost that I had to do to get rid of a watermark or something like that. And three, it had layers. And if you do video editing, and all of you who are on YouTube, you do video editing, you know how important layers are on a video. That's that way you can put a screenshot on top of your video. There were several out there that would do free, but not that would do layers. And to me, that's a very important part of doing a great video edit. So it's called CapCut, CapCut.
Okay, cool. Now, Baldypal, I got to put you on the spot here real quick. What are some of the plans you have coming up next week for Christmas, for holidays with you and your family? Because I know we talked about, that's one of the things you want to talk about is the holiday season. And tell us what some of your plans are for next year in 2022, as far as both with your reselling channel, your YouTube channel, and reselling on eBay. Just give us 2 or 3 like goals or projects or things you have coming up in the new year.
All right. So starting with the Christmas question, I just got back actually from one of the traditions that we do every year, which is I go visit my in-laws up in North Georgia, and we do Christmas the week before Christmas, and it's a weekend full of just my wife's family, and it's just so much eating and gathering and present opening and sharing. It's a load of fun. Just got back from that this evening, right before the show, in fact. Other Christmas traditions that we do here locally is to me, it's important that I am home on Christmas and my kids are here with us on Christmas, and that we are opening presents on Christmas morning as soon as they want to open them up. And we, this year, my mom's going to come into town from Panama City, and we're going to make all of the Christmas snacks and cookies that my granny used to make before she passed back in 2004, sorry. But she was the one who used to keep the baking alive at Christmas. So my sister's going to come over, my mom's going to come over, and we're just going to do a whole lot of baking and do it with the kids and my nieces and nephews and stuff like that. So that's pretty much our Christmas traditions we're going to try to keep alive this year. As far as goals are concerned, I'm happy to say that my 2021 goals are this close, like absolutely this close, guys. 1,000 was my goal for 2021 as far as subscribers are concerned, and you see how close I am to it. And I met my budget goal for eBay. I'm not going to say what that is and jinx it, but I met it. I met it last week, in fact. So I'm going to surpass it. So I'm going to have to. I'm not going to decrease it. I got to do some more figuring to determine if I can keep it there or if I need to raise it. But I really do believe that having goals on either eBay or YouTube, whatever the case may be, having goals is important. Someone said last week they shared their 90-day total. And that's, if you're in the eBay app, you can see the 90-day total. Personally, that's only part of the picture. I do a spreadsheet. I know it's in depth. I understand it's more than most people even need to do, but I do a spreadsheet that encompasses everything, every platform, everything I have listed, so that I see a full picture to meet my goal. I keep up with gross profit. I keep up with net profit. I keep up with all the numbers. That's important to me because that 90-day total on eBay is just a small fractional part of the picture overall. So I think it's great that people can set a 90-day total goal on eBay and they meet it or even surpass it. But to me, the actuality, like what's actually the fine figures is what the goal should be about, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I think sometimes people look at these big gross numbers and then they're not taking in the account, your cost of goods, and then you have to subtract, shipping fees, your eBay fees, and then, maybe if you have returns along the way, and then you have this much left over, and now this much left over, this much of it's got to be reinvested for the following month, so you have capital to go and to reinvest back in your business. So I think sometimes, people's 90-day numbers or gross sales numbers could be a little bit deceiving. Especially when you don't know what they paid for it or how long it's set on the shelf and all that. But, I encourage everybody, whether you're able to do it part-time or full-time, if you can generate an extra stream of income to help out and provide for you and your family, especially right now during the holiday season, there's a lot of people that would like to have some extra income to go buy presents for kids and Christmas time and traveling and putting gas in your gas tank and all that and buying groceries and just to pay a cell phone bill and buy presents. All that stuff is really important. Yeah, one of my goals this year was just to hit 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, and when I checked it the other night, I was at like 4,960. So it's like
Awesome.
right there. So that's the thing, guys. Even what do they say? There's an old saying that says, if you shoot for the moon and you don't hit it, you're still going to be amongst the stars. So if you work hard and you give yourself goals and you say, this is what I want to do this year, even if you don't hit it, you're going to be, I was going to say, you're going to be very, very close to where you want to be. So you just got to give yourself like an idea and a vision of where you want to be, and then start working your way there. It's not going to happen overnight, but you're just going to have to, hustle. You're going to have to grind. You're going to have to work towards that area. So, but yeah, man, I'm excited for Christmas to be here. And to me, one of my biggest things for Christmas is I would always go by, when I was a young kid, we would go by and visit my grandparents, and they're in their 90s now, but we would always go there, and the kids, we would always hang out and stay up late playing poker and shooting pool, and we would always have these different events, and all my aunts and uncles and cousins would show up, and we would all have these big brackets and these big tournaments. And so we would have these big tournaments to see who would win this pool tournament, and there was elimination matches, and it was bragging rights is on the line, and you couldn't let it live it down, and then whoever won was the defending champion of shooting pool for till the next following year. So I think, to me right now, I try to put a lot of emphasis on making sure the kids have a good Christmas. So I go out of my way to make sure that my sister's 2 kids, my brother's kids, all have nice presents. I don't tell them it's from Uncle Jeff. I just put from Santa Claus, and kind of have it under the tree ready for him, just when Christmas rolls around, for sure.
Did y'all have a little homemade trophy for your pool?
It was more, it wasn't like a plaque. It was just something on a piece of paper. And then when you lost your name, we did have a ranking system. So there would be a 1 seed versus a 10 seed. And then you would have, there was a ranking system. And then, once you got eliminated, you were out. So it was just a good time because, a lot of the times the adults were off from work and the kids were off from school, and we would stay up late and listen to holiday music and drink eggnog and, eat cookies and stuff. And they would have different challenges. And like I said, we'd stay up late playing poker and shooting pool and just having a good time. There was no bedtime, and nobody had to get up the next day for work or school. And it was just like one of those magical 3 or 4 days where you could just hang out and be a kid and enjoy life and not have to get up and not have homework and not have to go to work the next day. So it's just, it's one of those things, man. So that was always one of my favorite times of the year, was that week between Christmas and New Year's, so.
My birthday's on December 31st. So,
hey, man,
hopefully for my birthday present, I'm going to have 1,000 subscribers.
Oh, I was going to say, are you going to go out and do anything for your birthday? Are you going to go out to dinner, or what are you going to go do for your birthday?
I always go to my wife's cousin's house, which is in Marietta, Georgia, and they are like brothers and sisters to us. Like, her husband is like my brother from another mother, if you know what I mean. And he's a great guy. He's a pastor. We hang out. He'll go thrifting with me in Atlanta, even though he doesn't really like it. He'll do it anyway, and I'll drag the girls out with us too. We got lots of kids, but honestly, just hanging out with family on my birthday. The tradition is that my wife's birthday is 2 days after my birthday. So that's the tradition is that we hang out with them. They make us our favorite meal. We get a cake. We just veg. We watch Netflix or Hulu or HBO Max or whatever it is. And there's so many, like, we'll probably rewatch the Spider-Man movie again because it's on HBO Max. So just hanging out with them. Our 40th was last year, and we had a major, we had a big, what do you call that? Where you get all the lobster, crab legs, and a low country broil. Okay, we had a low country broil. That was awesome. I love that kind of food. So that was our 40th birthday last year, and that was awesome.
All right, that sounds good. I wanted to give a quick shout out here to the Flippin' Sports Guy, and Laura. Laura is in the chat.
Hey, Laura.
Selling Sniper is here, and Katie Reed is here in the chat. So I wanted to give you guys a quick shout out. So, Baldypal, I wanted to transition real quick and talk a little bit about your YouTube channel. Tell people about what kind of content you make on your channel. I know you have special guests that come on every week or so. I know you do like thrifting videos. I kind of like the videos where people are just kind of hanging out and you're listing items or shipping. So tell people a little bit about what you do on your channel.
Well, I found out that a little bit of everything helps everybody be happy. And so I do the lunch break picking is my series where I go out on my lunch break for just 30 minutes and then I get what I can and I show you what I get. And I like to come home and go over it, and then I'd like to do pulling my sales and showing you why I picked it up, how much I bought it for, how much I actually sold it for. I like to do weekly shows on Wednesday, and I used to do interviews every single week, but I'm going to do more of a, game show interview. You never know what you're going to get type thing on Wednesday nights. It could be anything. It's live with Baldypal or Resellers, Rantin and Ravin. Like I'll pick a topic where everybody, you can love it or you can hate it. I don't care. Bring your drama and let's just talk about it. Right. United States Postal Service, Jeff, whatever it is you want to rant about, we'll talk about it. Feedback from customers, or the fact that eBay can't get everything straight with automatic payments upon offers being made. Just anything you want to rant and rave about, we'll talk about. And that's what the fun is all about.
Yeah, and you do games on your channel, and you do giveaways. I one time won a giveaway, and Baldypal was giving away like a $10 gift card or something on eBay to give away to people. And one time he was doing like you were doing a challenge, and people had to guess what these items recently sold for, and you have different guests on in the past. So it's always a good time. If you guys get a chance, you can check his channel out. Katie Reed says, I love the Judge a Book by its cover series you did for me. So yeah, Adam always puts a lot of work and energy into his YouTube channel.
Yeah, I try to produce new games and eBay related games, but it may not always be the case because sometimes, like at the Christmas show, I'll do Christmas related games, right? But I try to do reseller or eBay related games and things of that nature. Honestly, that way we can all learn from it. And there's some wacky stuff out there being sold on eBay, and I use that as an opportunity to show it off.
Yeah. So, Adam, do you have like maybe 2 or 3 tips or piece of advice that you can help somebody out with their reselling business? Maybe they need to make some few extra dollars reselling part-time, or they want to make more income next year in 2022 for the resale business. What would you tell them, like off the top of your head, like 2 or 3 tips or piece of advice that would help them out to maybe grow or scale their business or make some side income?
There's actually, I've had to be able to share this 2 or 3 times this year because people that I work with see what I do and they've come to me and asked me, how do I get off the ground doing this? And one of the first things I always tell them is start with what you know. Just look around your house. What are you involved with? What captures your interest most? For some people, it's movies, right? DVDs. You got a DVD collection. For some people, it's Funko Pops. Right? For some people, it's shoes. For some people, it's clothes. Just look around your house and see what is it you find interesting, something you already know a lot about, and then go to the eBay app and look those things up and see what people are paying for them on eBay. Start with those things. You can grow from there, but to get off the ground, to learn the process, you need to start selling things because you don't have to learn those items. You need to learn the process at that time. Then once you learn the process, then you can grow into other items. If, say, I started with men's clothing, not because I knew it, but because no one told me that tip. So that's what I started with. Once I learned men's clothing and I learned the process the easy way, I started expanding into electronics and then hard goods and then board games and then cell phones and stuff like that. So honestly, don't sell anything that's like an electronic that you cannot thoroughly test yourself. Like you may see that tuner and receiver made by Plantronics on the shelf in eBay, and you look it up and they only want $5 in the store and it's worth $150 on eBay. If you can't test that thing thoroughly, you don't worry about trying to flip it. If you don't know how to test it, if you don't know how it works, because that could be the worst experience on eBay. If that thing is in Goodwill because it's broken and you don't know it and you can't test it, I would stay away from it. If you can test a VCR, easy to test, guys. If you can test a VCR, sell a VCR. But if you can't test a radio tuner because you ain't got the speakers to hook it up or anything like that, don't sell that radio tuner and receiver. So that would be my 2 biggest pieces of advice. If you can't test it, don't sell it. Sell what you know first and start with what you got at home.
Yeah, and one more thing I would add is just look up the sold comp. So if you're at somewhere and you're at a thrift store, you're at an estate sale or whatever, you can look up the sold comps on eBay and it'll show you how many of them sold in the past 90 days. Because sometimes, I even do it myself sometimes. I'll be in a big hurry and I'll see this item on the shelf and I'll say, hey, they're selling this item for $1. And then I see other people have it listed on eBay for 20, 25 bucks. I'm ready to put it in my cart and check out thinking, hey, I got this item for $1. I'm going to sell it for 20, 25 bucks and go. But if that item doesn't sell, you can do everything right and go home and take pictures of it and list it. And your listing might sit there and it might sit for 6 months before it sells. But if you look on there, it'll tell you how many of them are listed, how many of them sold in the past 90 days. And you can kind of look at the sell-through rate and see, is this a popular item? Is this going to move or is it going to sit? You don't want to have dead inventory of this kind of sitting on the shelf. And then one more thing I was going to say, what I was talking about earlier, is just reinvesting your capital back in your business. I think it's great that you had extra money to be able to travel and take your family to Disney World. But if you didn't take a good chunk of that capital that you made from reselling and reinvest it back in your business the following month to get more inventory, your sales would slowly start declining a little bit,
Absolutely.
Right, for sure.
You gotta, most people say 25% put away for taxes, 25% put away for reinvesting into your eBay. And that's a really good tip. I have my personal percentages that I use, but you definitely have to put something away for taxes and something away to reinvest into your business. That's a really good point you made. Those of us who have been doing it a while tend to kind of accidentally overlook the basics, such as what is a sold comp, right? Like, how do you check a sold comp? In 2022, since I had 2 or 3 people approach me and ask me, how do I get started? How do I get off the ground? They also came back to me with other questions that were what I would consider basic eBay questions, starter questions, newbie questions. So I'm going to start a new series in 2022 that's going to be a 5 to 10 minute podcast type series about the basics of eBay. And I'm getting it fed to me from these new guys who are coming to me asking for help. I'm not trying to come up with it on my own. It's me trying to answer their questions for them. So honestly, guys, we've all, like, I recognize a huge chunk of these people in the chat. You've been on eBay, you've been on YouTube. You probably have overlooked and forgotten how you got started. But if you got a newbie asking you questions, write them down and send them to me, and I'll make sure it's getting covered if you don't cover them yourself.
Yeah.
Because I was just going to say, newbies need the basics and in just short spurts, not in 20 to 45 minute videos, but in short spurts.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I'm sure that if one person has that question, other people are going to have similar questions and are going to be searching YouTube about how do I look up sold comps, or what is a sell-through rate, or what is a BOLO. And so if you can answer simple, quick questions, and I'm sure people will just organically find your YouTube channel from just typing in that question into the search engine, trying to get their question answered. So that might help you out pretty cool. And I wanted to say, hey, real quick to Harry Humstone is in the chat. Hey, Harry, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us today. So, Baldypal, man, I told you before I got you on today, I was going to try to keep you on between 30 and 45 minutes, man. So I appreciate you jumping on and hanging out with me today. Tell everybody where they can go by and check you out at on YouTube and Instagram. We're trying to get Baldypal to 1K subscribers. I think he's like 30 subscribers away right now.
I got a URL, baldypal.com. That's the easiest way to get to my YouTube channel. Baldypal.com will take you straight there. Click that subscribe button and the thumbs up and the bell, all that good YouTube jazz. But honestly, guys, I just appreciate anybody who's already subscribed and supports the channel, comes out on Wednesdays and hangs out with us. If I ever do a live listing and you've got random questions for me, I don't mind answering it. And I honestly don't mind if you wanted to come in and chit chat with me on live. I know a lot of people like to be in the chat and don't like to get on the video part of it all. But if that's not you, if you want to get on the video and you don't have any other way to do it, I don't mind. Drop in. If I'm having a live, just let me know. We'll invite you over.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I wanted to give a quick shout out here to Prison of Profit is in the chat. So hey, man, we have Laura says, thank you for the valuable information. Hey, thank you guys for coming out and hanging out with us on the weekends. I know you guys it's a holiday season. You guys are busy and you got a lot of stuff going on. But I have all the links to Baldypal's channel for YouTube and Instagram is down below. You might want to go ahead and follow them. And go ahead and plug real quick one more time and tell them about your show you have coming up next week on Tuesday. Because there may be a few surprise guests that are coming. We don't know. I'm not going to tell you the whole list, but there may be a few people that you recognize that might be there, right?
That's right. That's right. So if you've joined here on the later half, my show on Wednesday night, December 22nd at 8:00 p.m. at my channel, baldypal.com, I'm going to do a telethon type live where I'm raising money for the Gary Sinise Foundation. And if you haven't heard of them, their mission is to support veterans and first responders for things that they need, whether it be for their family specifically or even just their community. They set up programs and they actually help rebuild homes if they need it. And just basically, if that group of people, first responders or veterans, are down on their luck or they've had a stroke of bad luck, the Gary Sinise Foundation helps them out. And I've always had the veterans have always sat well with my heart because, I mean, they give up a lot for our country to keep us safe, to be honest with you. And
for sure,
a foundation like that who looks out for them first, I want to get behind. I've read all of their website information and I think they've got a really great thing going on. So 100% of the funds we're going to set up a GoFundMe specifically for that charity that we're going to use that night, and 100% of it goes to the Gary Sinise Foundation. So I hope y'all, we're going to have celebrities from YouTube show up in the reseller world. They've several
right.
people have committed to show up. We're going to have fun. We're going to play games. There's going to be some embarrassing moments, some funny stories, and y'all are going to have a blast. You will not regret being there. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and so I'm one of the people that are going to be there, and I already told you one of the guys is going to be there, is going to show up. So I'm not going to reveal.
There's a few in the chat right now that's going to be there.
Yeah,
but
I'm
y'all
not going to reveal
up.
everybody that's going to be there, but I will drop a link in the community section if you guys want to come by and hang out. And it's for charity and it's for a good cause. So hey, Baldypal, go ahead and leave us with your final thoughts, buddy, and then we'll let you go.
I always say, stay safe out there and have fun picking, and I mean it. If you're not having fun, why are you doing it, right? Even if it's a part-time job, if you're not having fun doing it, find something else that you do have fun doing to spend your time and effort on. And if it doesn't benefit you and your family, then why do it? So full-time resellers, I'm sure you already can attest to the fact that reselling is one of the funnest full-time jobs in the world. And I think that's great. But if you're doing this part-time and you're not having fun doing it, probably sell something else that might help you out. But I hope you are. Yeah. So stay safe out there and have fun picking.
Yeah, I think a lot of times we take for granted that you can be at home in your pajamas in a recliner with the air conditioner on, just working from home, scanning items in and listing stuff on eBay. So, and you get to be your own boss, set your own hours, and you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So anyways, guys, go ahead and follow our guest, Baldypal Picking. All his links are going to be down below, YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff. I'm going to be shooting probably one day this next week. I got a new vlog style video. I just got this new apartment. It's 2-bedroom, 2-bath. 2-car garage. It's like 10 minutes from the beach in Siesta Key and Sarasota. So I've got a new vlog style video coming up for you guys this week. And you guys can check out my new apartment that I got. It's nice. It's got a pool. It's got a gym. It's got a hot tub. So I'll take you guys behind the scenes and show it to you probably one day next week. And until then, man, you guys have a great holiday and have a great weekend. And we'll see you soon. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye, guys.